So let's move to question number 101. The difference between total head and piezometric head line represent velocity head. G is equal to the value of capital G is 6.673 cross 10 to the power minus 11, which is not the part of mold board below. So shovel is not the part of mold board below. In universal soil loss equation, the input parameter is rainfall velocity index. The force which have same line of action are called collinear forces. In the torque converter, oil leaving the turbine is changed into a helping direction by curved stator vanes. A model is called distorted if geometric similarity does not exist. Ground resolution of the Landsat 1 and 2 is 80 meter. Gear axles, shafts and special bolts are made of medium carbon steel. When the channel is protected on the bed and sides with some protective material and there is no possibility of change in its cross-section and longitudinal slope, then the channel is said to be in permanent regime. The solid collected from wastewater treatment process which need to further treatment are sewage sludge. Which are the part of moldboard below? So shear and landside are the both part of moldboard flow, but shovel is not the part. In barrage project, a divide wall is provided to separate the lower crust and the sluice side from the higher crust weir side. So it's the right answer. The chain man who drags the chain is called leader. Chain man dragging the chain. The range of gear ratio in a vehicle depends upon maximum engine torque per weight of vehicle. So number of gear ratio depending on maximum engine torque divided by weight of vehicle. The tail cluster is essentially a combination or singly of the type open flume. Molecular weight of NaCl2 is 86 gram per mole. External combustion engine is a steam engine. Gravity dam essentially requires strong and watertight abutment, strong foundation. So both A and B is the correct answer. When there is a relative movement between crosshairs and staff reading, it is known as parallax. Function of mold board is to cut the soil, lift the soil, turn the soil. So its main objective is lift and turn both. The combination of soil water zone, intermediate Vodas zone and capillary zone is called as zone of aeration. In which phase the microbial activity is accelerated with the production of organic acid and lesser amount of hydrogen. So in acid phase, microbial activity is accelerated. The function of a torque converter or fluid converter is similar to that of a gearbox. If coefficient of variation calculated from the rainfall data of different rain gauges stations in an area of 40% and permissible error is estimating average depth of rainfall is 10%, what would be the optimum number of rain gauge station to be established in that area. So 16 rain gauge stations are required. Dash is the unit of operation in which as collected waste material are mechanically reduced in size. So mechanical reduction is size reduction. Internal combustion engine is petrol and diesel both. So steam engine is external combustion. An advantage of deep well turbine pump over centrifugal pump is that it requires no priming. Is the second functional element of waste management system. So waste handling is the second uh, functional element. In moldboard flow, the shape of frog is irregular. Frog shape is irregular. The two alternate depth in a 4-meter wide rectangular channel are 3.86 meter and 1.0 meter respectively. The discharge in the channel in cubic meter per second is 31. Automobiles and use of fuels in factories produce pollution of total pollution is 5%. Comparing a four-wheel drive with two-wheel drive system either at front or rear and assuming an equal division of weight between the two axes. So four-wheel drive can always give more traction than either rear or front wheel drive. Detaching capacity is greater of falling raindrop. It is a process in which volume of material is reduced so that density become more is called densification. In constant volume combustion, the air-fuel mixture is ignited within the cylinder. The ratio of viscous force to inertia force is called Froude number, Reynolds number, Weber number, none of above. So none of above. The most dangerous factor for storage of grain is rodents. In moldboard flow, the function of shear is to turn, cut the soil, turn the soil, penetrate into the soil. So function of shear is cut the soil and penetrate into the soil. So both A and C. Critical velocity is equal to 0.55 m as suggested by Kennedy for design of trapezoidal channel is the maximum permissible velocity. The area is divided into triangle in chain survey. Water-cooled tractors are more suitable for the areas of hot climate and desert lands, so both A and B. In a diversion head valve project, the canal head regulator is usually aligned parallel to divide valve. Cardiovascular disease is due to noise pollution. In constant pressure combustion, the fuel is ignited due to high compression. For more or less equitable distribution of supply, the outlet types preferred from head ridge to tail are AOSM and open flume and pipe. The U-fork and plumb bob are required for centering. In moldboard flow, the cutting edge of shear did horizontal cut of soil. In gravity dam, the quantity of concrete is determined by dead weight of dam. The process of heat transfer in which no medium is required is called as radiation. In engine, the piston rod is connected to crankshaft. According to Darcy law, the flow rate through a porous media is inversely proportional to length of the flow path. In WCB system, a line is said to be free from local attraction if the difference between FB and BB is 180 degree. Diesel engine is the internal combustion engine. So the graph between rainfall intensity and time is called hyetograph. In national standard for drinking water quality, turbidity should be less than 5 NTU. In moldboard flow, the function of gunnel is to take side thrust of the soil. Pumps in ascending order of heads are axial, mixed, and radial. First step in solving numerical problem of dynamic is free body diagram. In compression ratio, if the compression ratio is increased, the air standard efficiency will also be increased. In the rectangular channel, the alternate depth are 1 meter and 2 meter respectively. The specific energy head is 2.33. The function of secondary liner in double leach 8 is leak detection. The engine which follow diesel cycle is the diesel engine. Gully erosion usually control in check dams and diversion, so both A and B. If the waste components are not separated when discarded, then mixture of these waste is also known as commingled residential waste. In moldboard flow, the shear is made of chilled cast iron. If pipes are connected in parallel, their discharge is added up. HDPE is strong resistance to most chemical and is considered permeable to water. The turbulence in diesel engines ensures to briefly the fuel quickly in constant with bring the fuel quickly in contact with the air. Critical velocity ratio for use in Kennedy theory is all. Percentage contribution of methane to the greenhouse effect of Earth is 4 to 9%. Diesel engine follow the principle of diesel cycle. Head sluices are the gate controlled openings in the regulator, the main off-taking canal. If S is equal to 3t square, where t is in seconds, calculate the particle velocity when t is 1 second. So velocity is 6 meter per second. A slip shear is 1 piece shear. For proportionality, wear type outlets should be set at 0.9, depth of 0.9. The curvature of Earth is not taken into consideration is called dash surveying. Plane surveying. Clutch noise are usually most noticeable when the engine is accelerating. In an arc, dam load are restricted by weight of dam, arc action, A and B and none of them. So both weight of them and also arc action is correct answer. Resistance to indentation is called hardness. In two-stroke cycle engine, one cycle is completed in one revolution of crankshaft. Aquifer having same hydraulic conductivity in all directions at a point is called as isotropic. Which are of the following source of polluting the air? Using an air conditioner, using an hair dryer, watching TV, all of above. So all of above. In mold board flow, the mold board serves the purpose of receiving the fossilized, lifting and turning the soil, pulverizing the soil, or all of. So all of above is the correct answer. Time from the centroid of net rainfall to peak of hydrograph is called time of concentration, lag time, basin lag, or B and C. So lag time and basin lag both. To eliminate collimation error, the leveling instrument must be placed exactly at the midway. As compression ratio in an engine goes up, the octane requirement of the fuel goes up. Pumps in the ascending order of discharge are radial, mixed, axial. The mixture of limestone and clay is called cement. In the four-stroke diesel engine, the ignition takes place due to high pressure, high temperature. So B and C, both high pressure and high temperature. A rectangular channel carries a certain flow of which the alternate depths are found to be 3 meter and 1 meter. The critical depth in meter for this flow is 1.65. What are the errors associated with maps? So that's the error associated with maps. In grassy lands, the best mold board for use is a breaker type, saw type. Typical width of strip cropping ranges from 30 to 100 meter. Which one of the micronutrient is found in biosolids? So calcium and molybdenum both are a micronutrient. Camshaft is driven by crankshaft. A line joining the tops of liquid in piezometers is called hydraulic grade line. Desiccation of clay during construction results in cracks that reduce the efficiency. In diesel engine, the cylinder is fitted with movable piston. The Garrett's diagram are based on Kennedy's theory.